Hello and welcome back to No Bullshit. Today we return to talking about the latest company in America to try and get woke, Burger King. This long-running fast food juggernaut has been trying some new tactics with its advertising and public relations lately, and they're very interesting and troubling to say the least. Previously we talked about them making their new item for their menu called the Not So Happy Meal. This was an obvious play on their competitors' Happy Meals, made by McDonald's of course. But also, Burger King was making different emotions into meals too, in an effort to pander to the mental health awareness crowd in honor of May's Mental Health Awareness Month. Nothing wrong with supporting people with mental issues either, of course, but the way Burger King is trying to capitalize on this issue in order to not only make money but also to bash their competition, well, it really rubbed some people the wrong way, including yours truly. Not to mention the pro-social justice warrior implications, which there are many since they always seem to push mental health awareness shit, and also SJWs always seem to have mental health issues themselves. Not surprising since they do often act like crazy people, but also there is a growing trend of everyone on the left claiming they have some sort of issue, usually anxiety or something else almost unprovable. And this is stuff almost everyone experiences anyway. I don't know why they think they're special. Regardless, leftists always want to feel special, so when they say get uncomfortable in public, like how we all do at times, well, instead of just calling that being nervous or shy and moving on with their lives, liberals instead opt to say something like, oh, I have social anxiety disorder. Look at me, I'm special and I'm a victim, which is absolute nonsense to me. But today we've got a new issue and a new medium in which Burger King is trying to get political with, perhaps taking a cue from another fast food chain's account on Twitter as well. Wendy's has always had a pretty entertaining and engaging presence on that platform. They wouldn't really get this political though, more like they did a lot of edgy comedy and comments on there. Also, the Wendy's account on Twitter would be pretty anti-politically correct at times, something which Burger King is doing pretty much the opposite of. But like how Burger King imitated McDonald's to get woke before, now they are somewhat imitating Wendy's in order to get woke about politics this summer. The issue today is a new trend of what some are calling milkshake assaults. Basically, starting at about the beginning of this month, pro-leftists and SJW started a pretty offensive and borderline illegal strategy to be used against their political opponents, usually conservatives, our supporters, and other non-PC anti-SJW folks. What they do to us is this: they find their opponents in public and then throw milkshakes on their heads. Sometimes it's just a pouring of the shake over the top of their head, but other times it's a much more violent throwing of the entire cup at the person. Either way, it's just plain wrong, and usually it's technically assault, a crime in most places. Regardless though, political operatives sympathetic of the left have embraced this new tactic, and it looks like Burger King is supporting this as well. For more details on Burger King supporting milkshake assaults, let's turn to an article from Breitbart called Delling Poll. Burger King appears to tweet jokey support for milkshake assaults? Hilarious. Check this one out. Did Burger King appear to endorse political violence by hinting to its Twitter followers that it's perfectly okay to assault with milkshakes campaigners whose politics you don't like? Then there's a tweet below that sparked the story. In it, Burger King says, "Dear people of Scotland, we're selling milkshakes all weekend. Have fun. Love BK. Hashtag just saying." Wow. Just wow. I think this could easily be seen as Burger King supporting political violence. Kinda hard to spin it in any other direction. Sure, they are being cheeky and they're making a joke of it, but really, they're making light of something kind of serious. Despite how inane and simple and harmless a milkshake might seem at face value, pouring any sort of liquid or drink over someone's head, well, that's how you start a fight where I come from here. Perhaps a woman could get away with throwing her cocktail in a bad date's face, but if a grown-ass man comes up and pours a drink onto another guy's head, that's basically a way of saying you want to fight them, and you should be ready to. It's equivalent to slapping someone in the face, basically. And this is taking the milkshake assaults in the least offensive way possible. Like I said before, many of them are done in a drive-by situation where the assaulter is running up to them and then throwing the entire cup at someone's face or body. Now, depending on the strength of that cup and how hard it's thrown, this could actually really hurt and or injure someone. And without a doubt, throwing something at someone like this is clearly offensive, wrong, and probably illegal. So, regardless of the seriousness though, Burger King is making light of these assaults. You might even say they're encouraging it even, probably because the shakes are being thrown at their anti-leftist opponents. The supposedly witty tweet seems to be an opportunistic response to a story that police in Scotland asked a local branch of McDonald's to not sell milkshakes during a rally at Edinburgh's Corn Exchange by Nigel Farage's Brexit Party. This was prompted by a spat of milkshake attacks on pro-Brexit campaigners, two on Tommy Robinson, who is standing in the northeast as an independent, one on Carl Benjamin, aka Sargon of Akkad, who is standing in the southwest for UKIP, and most recently, one on an SDP stall in Peterborough. Asked, albeit mistakenly, if they're making a point of telling Scots they're selling milkshakes because Tommy Robinson is up there, Burger King offered a less than exculpatory no comment. Sounds like McDonald's was kind of doing the right thing there too, if they stopped selling those shakes, while at the same time, Burger King is blowing it once again. You see, instead of taking a stand and getting involved, Mickey D's just halted the production of their milkshakes for a little while to at least try and stifle this troubling new trend. And that's because McDonald's is smarter, and there's a reason they're the best and biggest fast food chain and have remained on top for so many years. It's because McDonald's knows what customers and people expect from them. Just some good food at cheap prices, in clean stores with no drama either. Easygoing, non-political messages are a plus too when it comes to restaurants. Needless to say, no one goes out for a cheeseburger expecting to get confronted with biased political messages. But regardless of that sound logic and easy to identify game plan, which others in fast food should follow too and have, well, Burger King of course opted to do the opposite recently. And here's why. They're getting pretty desperate. They're in second, third, or fourth place or whatever. Who knows at this point, but obviously they're not the top dogs. But Burger King really wants to be, very desperately. That's why instead of staying neutral and focusing on their food and products, Burger King is stepping out and going pro-leftist in a sad, pathetic attempt to pander to liberals and hope that if they side with them, they'll get their support in business. Please, not only will leftists never support a business for doing this, they also just don't spend money or support anyone, even their allies. Radical liberals with their useless gender studies degrees that get them terrible jobs that provide them no money or future, well, at the end of the day, they'll still spend money they don't have, like say $25 on a whack vegan burger with kale chips at some overpriced hipster restaurant in the local arts district. That's right, liberals would rather spend more money that they don't have on shittier food because Yelp told them to, and their food selfies from there will get them good traction on Instagram and other online platforms. So no, Burger King's strategy here is not only stupid and off-putting for those on their side, it's also not going to win over any left-wingers either. Only hours later, once the backlash had set in, did they claim they would never endorse violence or wasting our delicious milkshakes. Perhaps this is why all the comments in favor of Burger King's initial oh-so-hilarious tweet come from people on the side of the argument who think violence is an acceptable punishment for the kind of racist, ignorant untermenschen who voted leave from embittered, malevolent, intolerant remainers. In other words, here's a sample. Then there's the Burger King tweet again, followed by a reply saying, "Time to lactose and intolerant?" Not a bad line actually, but what's really bad here was what Burger King said earlier when they tweeted they would never endorse violence following their initial tweet. Well, I think that just made the whole thing worse for them. First, they could have just played it off somewhat, but now they are admitting they knew what they meant before. But they also don't endorse violence somehow at the same time, whatever that means. Doesn't make sense to me. And how long do you think until their social media manager at Burger King gets fired or something? I'd say he's probably sweating his brains out all weekend now, because although he was trying to get edgy and political in order to garner attention similar to what Wendy's has gotten online, but instead, the Burger King Twitter account has gotten their company more attention, but for all the wrong reasons. What's clear, to repeat, is that this is a problem confined to the far left and its anti-Brexit and Islamofascist sympathizers. So what Burger King was doing with that tweet was appearing to throw in its lot with some of the most aggressive, violent, and anti-democratic fringes in British politics. Nice work, Burger King. Perhaps at some stage, someone in corporate headquarters will wonder whether it's really such a good look for Burger King to appear to be taking such an explicit political stance. At the time of writing, their tweet has received over 7,000 retweets and over 31,000 likes. It would be nice to think, though, that however many new customers Burger King won over by doing a Nike, it will have lost at least 10 times as many seriously pissed off Brexit voters, Farage supporters, and Tommy Robinson fans who will never wish to darken its doors again. It's the last time I'm venturing near a Burger King, that's for sure. Not that I would have done anyway in all likelihood. Their burgers seem as dodgy as their politics. Well put. Before this, I might have still given Burger King a chance too. Even after that whole no one's always happy meal shit, pandering for Mental Health Awareness Month, well, even then, I thought about giving them a chance for my business again one day. But after this whole supporting of political violence thing, I really don't think I can with good conscience. I mean, Burger King is basically supporting radical left-wing, Antifa-like political violence. And this is no exaggeration, people. In fact, here's a picture someone found where Burger King liked a tweet comparing them to Antifa specifically. Carl Anka on Twitter said, "Burger King is Antifa," and then Burger King themselves liked that tweet. And that really tells you all you need to know. In the end, Burger King is getting political again, surely, and woke as well, probably. And also, very likely, they are supporting political violence against conservatives and our sympathizers, and anti-PC, anti-SJW types too. Sure, they try to be funny about it and then they backpedal too, but just imagine for a second if these attacks were going the other way around. Do you think Burger King and the left-wingers online would be okay if conservatives threw milkshakes on known liberals and SJWs in public? Because I'm pretty sure they would ask for even harsher punishments than what we are from them now. Like say, for example, if I went up in public and threw a milkshake on Francesca Ramsey, I would probably get arrested on the spot. My name would then be drugged through all the papers and websites, and they would probably try to take down all my websites, my YouTube page, ruin my job, and my whole life would go into shambles. But if you do the same thing in the other direction, the liberal-run mainstream media will reward you, and wannabe woke corporations like Burger King, they will support you too. What do you guys think? Was Burger King supporting political violence with that tweet? Will this woke strategy help their company in the long run? And do you think leftists would be supporting these milkshake assaults if they were going the other way around and being thrown at them and their supporters? Comment your thoughts and everything below, and thanks for watching No Bullshit. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and we'll see y'all next time.